Hey everybody, my name is Casey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be doing a build for my museum. As I'm sure a lot of you know, the Brewster update was announced, at least that it is coming to New Horizons, so I want to go ahead and decorate my museum. I already have some terraforming laid out in the background. And then here is my map. I just wanted to show you the progress that I have so far on Willow. But I'm really excited to get into this build. It's going to be a bigger build, but you know, with Brewster coming, it's just like go big or go home. So I have some ideas. I want to do a little coffee shop or coffee stand to the right of my museum. And then I just want to make the rest of the area feel really cozy. So I'm going to just start up the Island Designer app and start decorating. So right here, I'm just doing a little bit of terraforming because I have this river going like in front and on each side of the museum here. And then I'm just trying to figure out the placement for the coffee shop. So I found this really beautiful standee design code. So I'm going to use that. I will have that linked in my card, which you can find in the description. And now I'm just trying to figure out what type of pathing I want to use for like the little front part of the standee and the little coffee shop. So I have this like kind of pebble pathing down, but I'm not sure that I like it. I just think it's like, I think it's a beautiful code, but I just don't think it fits this area. So right here, I'm just kind of testing out different items to place on the stall behind the standees, and then I will go ahead and just start working out the kind of rest of the placement for the other items and how I'm gonna lay this coffee shop down. So I'm gonna work on this for a bit, and then I will stop back in and update you on what I am working on next. I'm kind of struggling with placing what type of custom code I want for this area, but I have this really beautiful welcome mat, so I think that'll work perfectly, and I just kind of scooched everything up a little bit. And so now what I'm going to do is just place this diagonal bridge right here and then pay it off, and then I'm going to actually go ahead and time travel to the next day so I can work on laying down the pathing for the front of the museum. I'm just using this really kind of like light or like white colored flowery pathing. I think it'll work for this area because it's pretty simple, so I can kind of get a little bit more, not like crazy with colors, but I can definitely work in some more colors for this area. And then I also just want to have like a little table and a little seat where somebody could just be coming and drinking some coffee. And so now I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to decorate the rest of this area. I'm going to just add in some trees, and then I'm going to just work on filling in this area a little bit more. I actually wanted to change out that flower and add in a little custom wooden plank sign that says open 24/7. I just think that's really cute. And so here I'm gonna now work on filling in the rest of this area with trees and flowers and some items, and I will pop back in a bit. And if you guys are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, as it really helps me out. We just hit 800 subscribers and I'm so excited about that, and I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me and subscribing and supporting to my YouTube channel, because it really means a lot to me. So for this area back here, I'm just trying to find an item that would give it a little bit of height. So I'm going with this utility pole. And then what I want to do is have just like some more micro areas that are like little picnic areas or seating areas for the rest of the empty space I have in front of the museum. So here I'm just testing out a picnic blanket code, and then I will kind of go from there and see if I like how it looks. My only concern with this is if I decorate like an entire picnic blanket, there won't be much room to kind of like walk around this whole area. So I decided to change it out and just do this like 2-tile lace mat. And then I'm just kind of playing around with different items and what to place there. And I actually time traveled ahead to the next day because I just like the lighting in this time of day a bit better than when it gets later in the game. For whatever reason, it just makes me feel like a bit more creative. And so for this area, I'm just testing out some different items as well and filling it in with flowers. And then I decided right here just to place down like a little log stool and then a book. I just feel like that's pretty fitting for a museum. And then I'm just filling in the rest of this area. I'm gonna lay down this little like plank path, so it's like you can walk through and maybe paint if you want to. And then I have to start working on decorating these cliff tops up here, so I'm gonna just add in some more terraforming, and then I'm gonna let you guys watch me decorate for a little bit, and I will stop back in and let you all know what I'm working on next. So for these cliff tops, I really want to be sure that I am adding in a lot of like trees and flowers, and then decorating some small areas in between all of the trees and flowers, because in the beginning of the video I went up to that little overlook area, and so I want to make sure that there's a lot of detail in this area. So I'm going to just be using like some mush items, some bushes, and then I will lay down, like I said, some more like mini seating areas, and then I just want to make sure my trees are alternated as much as they can be. And then I gotta be careful that I'm not using up like too much space for this build, because I still have a lot more like villager houses to place on this island. So I'm just gonna kind of round off that cliff right there, and then I want to extend this overlook area a little bit so you can get like the best view of this area. And so I'm going to just work on doing a little bit more of this terraforming, and then I will go back in and fill in all of this empty space as we go along the video. So right here, I'm just working on doing a little bit of waterscaping. I want to add these little like single tile blocks in the river, and then I want to just expand it a little more on the left hand side, because I want to be able to have like flowers or bushes or, you know, items on these little blocks in between the river, just to kind of fill it up a bit more. I like to do that. And so now I'm just getting a look at everything, making sure that it looks okay, and I'm gonna actually go ahead and time travel to the next morning and start filling in those little pieces of land. I don't know what the like exact word for it would be, but those little blocks there. I actually need to get rid of some of the flowers in my pocket, so I'm gonna just decorate this cliff top up here and then place down a couple more items. And so as you can see, like for my cliffs, I like to fill it in with flowers and bushes, but then also have different items in the game, separate them so there's not too many all alongside each other. So I'm gonna just pick up these weeds really quickly. I accidentally the other night time traveled a year ahead. I think I was just like playing when I was kind of tired and I wasn't paying attention. So I had a bunch of weeds all over my island. So now that I have those cleaned up, I'm gonna just work on filling in the rest of this area up top here, because as I've mentioned, since I'm doing it as like kind of like a lookout area on the other side of the museum, I want to make sure every space is filled in as much as possible over here. So I'm just playing around with a couple different items. So I'll let you all watch me do this for a little bit, and then I'll explain kind of any little tips I have along the way. I decided for this area I wanted to make like kind of a bunch of different like camping areas or seating areas, so I'm just using this festival garland in the back there, and then I'm just laying down some different flowers and items I think would look cute in like a mini little campground, and then some singular pieces of fencing. I really like laying those down. I'm trying to figure out the placement of different items, which can be kind of tricky. So I have this tall lantern. I really think it looks like nice and like a cliff, like second level cliff that I have back here, but I'm just trying to get the placement of it correct. So I think finally I was able to get it like right here, right behind that little seating area. And then I'm gonna just lay down another little seating area with a hammock, and then I'm gonna place down a little stool and a radio. I actually decided to swap out this stool for a pile of Zen cushions. I just think it fits nice there and kind of fills in the area in the background, but I'm still kind of testing out different items like that Turkey Day garden stand. I'm not sure if I like it. I think it's just like a little bit too big, but I'm gonna just leave it for now and then continue in filling in the rest of this area with flowers. And then I have this log plank path that'll be leading up to that kids tent right there. And then I just put a little book on a log stool next to that little mini blanket kind of camping area. And then I really like using those festival garlands in the background there. I just think that's a nice touch. I was actually inspired by the island tour I did of Taku's Island. I will link that above she has this area in the back of her island where she has all of those festival garlands laid out. So I think that's just like a nice touch. And plus, when you are doing, or when you're looking at this area from the lookout area, you can kind of see them poking out in the background. So I really think this build is coming together nicely so far. I just kind of want to fill in the rest of this pathing right here, and then I want to go ahead and decorate the little overlook area on the top there. So right here I'm just using this green pathing, and then I'm going to just plant in some flowers to fill in the space down here. So I'll let you all watch me do that for a little bit, and then I will pop back in and let you know what our next steps will be. So right here I am just making a little blanket on the ground, and then I'm going to have a little seating area with this mush stool and then the little ukulele, and then I'm going to just fill in the area around it, and then we will go ahead and move on to the next part of this build. So now I'm just finishing up figuring out the rest of that pathing, and then I just need to place an incline up here because this will be how you will get to and from the museum from the lookout area. And also there's little Rudy up there. I placed his house up there actually, but we have the incline placed kind of in alignment with the diagonal bridge. So I'm going to just start to fill in these little kind of like pocket spaces down by the incline next to the cliff, and then do a little bit of terraforming. So I'll let you all watch me do that for a bit, and then we will go ahead and move on to decorating the overlook area. So right here, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and lay down some filler codes and then try and figure out what type of pathing I want to be leading up to this area. I'm trying the log plank pathing, but I just don't think it fits right. So I'm going to go with this little brick pathing and just spread it out throughout this area right here. Can we all just take a moment to see how cute Rudy is just sitting there? But now what I'm going to do is work on this final part to the speed build, this overlook area. I decided I wanted to lay down a picnic blanket with this little lace circular code on each side. And so I'm going to just test out a couple different variations of items that I want right here. I want it to just be like a really cozy and cute little, not like camping area, but just like a place for a little picnic. I have been creating a lot more small spaces on this island. I actually have a video about how you can decorate small spaces. I'll link that in the card above, but it's just been really fun being able to decorate these areas again because I'm able to use different items in the game and like just get a little bit creative with it. So I think I kind of have that set up how I want it. And as you can kind of tell, the view is actually coming together, and this build, you guys, has taken me at least a couple days. Look at how cute Rudy is. He is perfection. But it's really kind of rewarding just to see it come together finally after working so hard on it for so long. And so now what I just need to do is decorate the surrounding areas and fill it in. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I really like to have all of my builds, at least for like when I'm doing a video or like posting a photo, I like to have the space filled in like a lot so there's no like empty areas. So I really just need to work on filling in this brick pathing right here and then decorating it with some flowers and trees. And then there's one little area on top of the overlook area that we were just working on that I want to just lay down some of that green kind of like grassy looking pathing. And then I will take you all on the final walkthrough. So I'm going to just fill in this area right here, and then I will pop back in when we are almost done with the build. Okay, so here is the final area we have. I just want to go ahead and make this grass pathing like really curved and windy. That will be kind of like leading you to this little overlook area from the incline. So I'm just laying down this pathing right here. I love this pathing. I honestly nearly based my whole island theme around that grass pathing because it's just so beautiful, and I saw it and I was like, this will look amazing in cherry blossom season. So that's kind of how I started the theme for this island. But right here I'm just laying down a little picnic blanket and then filling in the pathing with some filler coats and flowers. And then I just want to go ahead and actually plant some trees on the other side of this grass pathing. So I'm going to just finish up this little picnic blanket area and then place down some trees, and we will go on the final walkthrough of this area. Alright, so here it is, the final walkthrough of my museum, basically all designed for Brewster. So as you can see, I have a little seating area right here, and then I have this diagonal bridge which will be leading us up to the museum, and then you can go along this log plank pathing, and you can sit here and read a book if you want, or you can kind of just go to that little painting area that I have tucked in back here. So I'm actually like kind of shocked at how I was able to pull all of this together, and decorating the cliffs was pretty challenging, but it was also like I really like doing cliff decorations. So here's just kind of like a view of my museum from the first level here. So I really like how I was able to make it come out. And so now what I want to do is go ahead and walk back this way. So here, if we just take a look, this is where we started the build with these standees, and like I mentioned, this code will be in my card, which will be in the description below. But let's go ahead and walk back across this diagonal bridge, and then if we head on up this incline, this will take us up to the little overlook area that we made. So I really like how I was able to incorporate a bunch of different colors into this area up here in particular, and I'm really pleased with how it all came together as far as like this overlook for the museum. I'm really happy with it. I think the cliffs look nice and full. So if you need inspiration for your museum, please feel free to take some from this video. And I hope it was able to help inspire you for design ideas for your island, not just your museum. But I really wanted to thank you all so much for hanging out with me and spending some time of your day to watch my video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, but other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!